We are live, and this time, man, we're live from a place you want to be live from. We are live from Warp Zone Gaming inside the Speakeasy Vape Lounge, the place you want to be, the legendary Speakeasy Vape Lounge at 2508 East Bijou, kind enough to let us bring our podcast to their location. And here today with us, we've got Savannah, Indiana. She's our millennial gamer.
What's up?
Chick gamer. Go. She's one here representing the chick gamers. And then, of course, we've got our Cammy, Renee.
What's up, guys?
I'm MistaTre, and of course, our guest today, filling in for Manny, who had a family tragedy. I would rather say it that way and leave it at that. And so he'll be with us for another episode of something else. But filling in for him is somebody who knows a lot about video games himself, the K to the Mizzle. And I know I have bunny ears on my face on the Facebook video or cat ears. I look like a cat. I don't know what I did, but I can't make it stop now. And with a MistaTre bunny ear hat, kitty ear hat. I don't like this. I don't like this at all. Of course, it is Wake and Bake, no rules. We're in season 1, episode 3. Today's awesomeness is smoking contest and video game history, and that's what we're going to be talking about today. Now, of course, if you have a comment or you want to advertise with the show on 98.5 or our podcast, just visit just visit bakeamericashow.com and send us an email to info@bakeamericashow.com. And you know what I'm saying, like us on all the social media aspects. This. And of course, real quick here, we got to pay the bills. Apothecary Farms and Concentrates proudly brings you this episode of No Rules. The podcast show dabs and post-show dabs and all the dabba-dabba-doos are brought to you by Apothecary Farms. Of course, with 3 convenient locations across the Front Range, just Google us or find us on Weed Maps. Baby. So let's get into it, guys. So there are lots of smoking contests around the world, Craig. I'm glad you got a lighter because I did not grab a lighter either.
You didn't get a lighter?
I don't think I got a lighter.
That's one thing with stoners. I
got chapstick. I got some chapstick. I mean, that's got to count for something.
That's fire. Icy hot?
No,
no.
Just Rego.
Just classic.
I got that Reggie chapstick.
Classic like white bread.
Reggie white bread chapstick right there, baby. No flavor. You're stupid. All right, so guys, I'm still getting over this junk, but I'm really excited to do this because we're in a cool game room that features, we're really the game history right in front of our faces that we're going to be talking about. And I thought that would make it a little fun and a little exciting to do. So, I don't know, right? I don't know about you, but Cammy, I don't know. I see a lot of stuff we played growing up in here, huh? Everywhere. Yeah, and guys, do me a favor. You got to kind of sit up close because, I've turned the gain down so we don't hear everybody and their mom talking in the background.
Can they hear us now?
I hear you.
How you hear me?
I just hear Dole roaring in the background and Damani. You always hear Damani. Shout out to Damani and the Syndicate Empire. Those guys are on Blazing 98.5 in the evening.
I have the cat ears on now,
They're
by the
killing
way.
it. Oh,
Yes, they got off me. Now the cat ears are on Cammy.
And they're back.
Oh, they're back.
You made it work, though.
Boo.
Hello, kitty. Oh, no, it's there.
Meow. So, of course, shout out to everybody tuning in this afternoon during the podcast on the live. And, of course, we will be 420 at 420, like every episode of the show. So, and, of course, it's also 420 somewhere. Now, guys, all of us are from the video game generation. Every one of us were born after the first legitimate console, the Atari, hit somewhere, you know what I mean?
Right.
You're going to find out that video games have been around for a long time, longer than Atari for sure.
Super long.
And a lot of people maybe don't know that, and I'm going to rip this bong real quick. Well, I ask you guys, before we get into video games, let's start with smoking contests, and we'll come back around to video games in the second half of the show. I want to get the smoking contest first because I brought Cammy to Canada Olympics here at the Speakeasy. It was the first smoking contest she had ever went to, and she saw crazy things happen. But so there are a couple of them that I wanted to talk about first. And topic 1, Smoking Colorado. Now, in Smoking Colorado, the first contest I'm going to bring up is probably the one that everybody knows about. It's been running since 1974. It's in its 36th year this August. You know it. We know it. That's right. Bongathon. It's a weekend camping trip where there are smoking competitions that go down.
I can't wait to go.
I'm excited to go, yo. I've been training for this, you know what I mean? Got my bong ready right here and all that. So I'd be so good.
You have all sorts of different people that come out and all these different competitions that happen. And it's just a weekend full of like,
Hippies. It's a weekend full of hippies, damn it.
Yeah, it's like stoner bonding fun. It's just fantastic. Everybody shares their strains and their ideas, and you get all sorts of really cool stuff out there.
People have been building up for a long time and everything. I've seen the documentary Manny showed
Right.
me a bongathon, and like, wow, I never started hanging a bong like that. Wow.
I remember the year that my one-legged friend, Funky Five Toes, won the contest, and it was crazy because nobody had ever beat the man. I'm talking about Norm. He knows who he is, and Norm's been on our show before. You remember Norm, babe, from Bongathon? But and I'm telling you, like, I know how legendary Norm really is. I know how like a sort of underground legendary Funky Five Toes is, and I know and it's just you learn about like I mean DB Kush, Dr. DB Kush be in the building every year at Bongathon. Like, it's crazy, man. Like, I'm only mad that I haven't taken Cammy. For real. I think she'd have a black, because you guys don't understand, Cammy's not the girly girl she looks like on the internet, on the Instagram, or on the internet, all that. Not at all. She likes to go out camping, and it's fun, and it's something she would enjoy thoroughly. I mean, it's literally smoking and camping and shrooms, man.
So much.
Baby, just so much. Now, some of the contest guys, I wanted to ask you guys how you thought you might fear or fearing in some of these contests. Cammy, I think, well, I'm trying to figure out which contest I want to ask you if you think you would do good in. Okay, so do you think you would do better in a team sport or an individual one?
Team.
I'm not
I am a lightweight, like, you know that, so. I'm a huge lightweight. So.
Remember when I was one too.
I've always been one. I've tried
She's
to
just so-
build
she's
my.
just
I've tried
so
to build
small,
my.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm such a small person that I don't think I'll ever have like a huge
Right.
tolerance.
That's what I thought to do. I'm all like, man, I gotta start building my tolerance. Everyone's like,
I've
I'm not
tried.
smoking you, bro. I'm all like, I'm gonna smoke you when I get back.
I
See what
can't even
happens.
get out of bed after 2 dabs.
Right?
Like, I can't even get out of bed after 2 dabs.
Damn.
So.
That's another thing I saw on the thing. I saw they added dabbing to that stuff too. Like
Yeah.
dabbing comments. I'm like, why?
It's like, ooh,
I love dabs, but no, it's gonna hurt.
There's a
I love blunts. Pass that
There
ish.
you go.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, so Savannah,
Yeah.
do you think you would fare better in a fastest contest or a consume it all contest?
Like, it depends. I know with dabs I'm not going to do very well. Because, I mean...
Yeah, we got video of you, actually.
Yeah.
We got video of you falling out off screen.
Oh, yeah. But I think, like, how much I can consume, I think that would be my thing. As long as I can take my time, I'm sure I can do it, like, quite a bit.
They give you a time.
I think
limit,
everything
and
has a
that's it.
time limit, does it
Yeah,
not?
everything's got time on it.
Oh,
And some of the
think I
time
can do
limits
it.
are.
Oh my God, have you ever seen the fastest gram?
Oh,
The
God.
fastest gram for, like...
Oh, did you
flowers?
guys look at the videos? You should have looked at the
Fastest gram
video.
for flowers, I think they can do that.
The fastest gram of flour is an awesome contest. You get a bong, you get a gram nug of weed, and you have to smoke it as quick as you can. Now,
Yeah.
my understanding is the trick to this is breaking little pieces and just keep the fire going. And just keep throwing logs on the fire, sort of, you know,
That's
and never
what
stop
mine
ripping.
would be.
Yeah.
Would just
I think you should love this big old giant thing.
right?
Nothing with
Oh
that.
yeah, that's the king pipe.
To just be
Yeah, that looks like something else.
That's not cool.
Royal.
Shut up, Savannah. You're a horrible person. Oh my God. And so also, let's see here. What else do we got? Of course. So K-Mac,
What's that?
when it comes to you, do you think you would fare better in a dabbing contest or a grass contest?
Grass.
Grass. You didn't
I'm
even hesitate.
not. I'd like to try in dabbing, you know what I mean? But I know after I'm done, I'm done. I'm just
I
gonna be
just
sitting
started
there.
doing dabs maybe 3 years ago, if that.
Oh man.
I've smoked flowers since I was a
I
kid,
don't
to
feel
be
like-
honest.
Right.
So,
I don't feel like it's something that people like fully get used to. I mean, you can build up that tolerance, but if you
Oh,
get
yeah.
some good stuff and you try to smoke it real quick, you might just, dab yourself out quicker than you expect.
Pretty much. That's why I
I've
prefer
seen
grass.
I've
like-
seen people
Yeah.
pass out after trying to do
Me.
craziness. No, I mean like pass out.
Oh yeah, like literally fall the fuck off
You
and
know
out
who I'm
another
talking
end.
about?
The
One
fuck
of
out.
our favorite little old ladies.
Oh,
last
no. I think Miss Linda didn't take her meds and eat right.
Oh.
Yeah, but again, hold on. But let's go back to that for a second. Wait a minute. Let's talk about that. That's actually a good door to open, because when you talk about competing, you need to also take care of yourself properly too, and that includes you got to drink the night before. And I'm not talking liquor, you dummies. I'm talking about drinking some water, some Gatorade, water up yourself, get some electrolytes, son.
Get some hydrotherapy.
Yeah, hydrated.
I know why you want to get hydrotherapy. You want to get hydrotherapy is more like it. No, it's something from our normal weekday show.
I find a lot of things funny. It's a problem.
So here's what happened is we had this guy come on our show that does these IV hydration stuff. He's a really nice guy.
Okay.
But the girls on the videos and Savannah went all gaga over the guy.
Oh, man.
Because he looks like one of the Jonas brothers that was all grown up.
What?
And big cookies on his hairy chest.
Oh
my
my
God.
God.
Man, I didn't even know what you know.
Save it for hump day, Savannah. I got you.
It's the weekend.
It's the weekend. Oh my God. Settle down.
If you do it good enough.
Oh, hello.
I mean.
Want to take it?
Point taken.
Low enough.
All right, so
right here.
as we move on, another cannabis contest is the Canna Olympics, which I've seen taking place and has actually taken place several times here. You know, several rounds of the Canna Olympics have taken place right here at the Speakeasy Vape Lounge, where we're the guests at today for the show. And I have to tell you guys, the one thing that they had there that was kind of fun was they had this. And they're somewhere in here in the club, but they have these little they look like the cars you made in shop that you would put CO2 cartridges on, right?
Yeah.
They look like that, but they have pipes on them. And you have to smoke it and then roll it down the track to your partner, and then they smoke the rest of the bowl. And it's like some relay contest.
Fantastic.
Right?
Like smoke derby.
Yes,
pot derby,
it's
something
pot
like
derby,
that.
some pot derby. Yep.
With that.
Wow.
There's also beer pong. They have teams who compete against each other in beer pong. So, you sink a cup, they got to take hits. Yeah. Oh, yeah, it goes down.
That's a different twist.
It goes-
Beer pong I have not played.
That is a beer pong I have not played. It's fun. It's actually really fun. And
I
you
prefer to watch.
Freak.
And having my opponent, and having my teammate carry the team for me.
Right.
I have to have my teammate carry the team.
He can't. I can't do it now.
I
Yep.
try.
So let's talk, if I could breathe. We really get fucked up while we do this, just so you guys know. Oops, punch the tip. Let's move on from smoking Colorado to smoking around America and the globe, Craig. So let me ask you guys a question. Before we do that, of course, all of our joints and blunts are rolled with Wacky Tacky Glue. You better follow Wacky Tacky Glue on Instagram and visit WackyTackyGlue.com. You wanna know why? Because stop spitting on your blunts, fool. It's gross. Roll it with Wacky Tacky Glue.
Flavorful.
You
Ooh.
ever seen baby legs do it?
Oh.
First time.
I don't want to talk about it. I try not to think about that when I smoke my blunt.
Right.
Or when I smoke his blunts. Ah, don't do that. We're moving
I
on.
have no idea what you guys are talking
You
about.
don't tell Cammy, she'll freak out.
You'll-
Yep,
You don't need to.
you'll freak out.
It's fine.
It involves spit. That's why you'll freak out.
Gross.
It's
Yep.
gross.
All right, so
God for Wacky Tacky.
yes, Bob.
Thank Bob for
Thank
Wacky
Bob.
Wacky
Thank
tacky.
Which he goes by Santa, so thanks Santa for Wacky Tacky Glue.
Thank you, Santa.
For Wacky Tacky Glue.
He's like,
So-
"Dear Santa."
I want to get you guys' take on some of these contests that take place around the country. First, let's go with Best Bud DC State Fair. That's, of course, the Washington, D.C. They have their little, state fair because they're not really a state, so they do their own little thing.
They're not really safe.
I'm not saying that to be
They're
mean.
not. Though.
They're not.
It's,
No,
but literally, they're underrepresented, guys. It's not
Drive
fair.
through DC on an empty night in like 30 minutes.
It's where you need to go quick.
Right.
Next time.
All right, so-
I think that would be fun though, like a whole state fair dedicated to they've been legal for like a long time.
I think we're all familiar with High Times Cannabis Cup.
Yes.
That's actually been taking place in several cities all over America since 1988, and is one of the longest standing contests for everything from, everybody tries to show up how much they can do this and do that, but the reality is the biggest thing about Cannabis Cup, and I think that sets it kind of apart from other contests at least, is that it really is genuinely a cultivation contest as opposed to just who can get high. right?
True that. The highest, fastest.
Right. Now there's another contest that takes place in Portland called the Dope Cup.
Ooh, I've heard about that one.
That sounds dope.
Be like,
Pun intended.
Yeah.
Yeah, I bet it's dope. I would say that it's probably pretty dope.
Right.
There's the Emerald Cup that takes place in Washington, Oregon area, if I remember right. Or is that that's the Emerald Triangle Cup, right? So that's Humboldt County. I could be screwing this up, so send your hate mail to info@WakeLetterNBakeAmericaShow.com. We'll read it. We'll correct us, please.
Work on it. Hate mail. I want it.
I want your hate mail right along with those love letters.
But the Emerald one sounds just like classy.
Yeah, it's just like, welcome to the Emerald City where the Emerald Cup takes place.
Like a bunch of classy hipsters.
Emerald.
They're better than everyone else.
Oh, man, I can see that.
With their men buttons.
My weed is organically grown with no pesticides and all this.
And it's dairy free. It's vegan, okay?
I can still see the infants.
Now we're gonna get hate mail, okay? So, the Northwest Cannabis Classic, which takes place in Washington, actually.
Yeah, that one has 3 different events. That one has.
You actually went in and read them? I'm proud of you.
Yeah, it's Anchorage and I think.
Because I knew it was 3, but I couldn't remember
I
where.
think it was Anchorage, Portland, and Seattle.
Yes, that was the other ones. I knew Seattle was one of them because that's what I remember.
Yeah, Anchorage, that would be fucking hilarious.
I didn't know Anchorage was doing cannabis contests. That's awesome.
Well, Alaska's been legal for a while now.
Well, yeah. All right, let's go to Oregon Cannabis Growers Fair at the State Fair. So it's like a fair inside the fair
So that's like
for grown-ups.
Fair in the fair.
A fair in the fair for grown-ups.
Yeah.
It's a grow fair for grown-ups.
Grow fair, see what you did.
We messed that. And then there's, of course, the Stony Awards from High Times Magazines, which features television and movie awards for cannabis, right?
Nice.
They need radio.
I was just about to say, where is the Cannabis Podcast Awards, motherfuckers? Come on, High Times. Come on, High Times. Help us help you. Invite us to win the first one, though, of
There's
course.
so many out there.
I think we should win the first one. We should. I mean, who else do you have that's shooting their podcast live from the first legally licensed cannabis club in America, motherfucker?
Do that.
We've been recognized by Snoop.
Suck it.
Yes, sir. Snoop Doggy Dog.
Suck it. Snoop Dogg loves us.
Yeah.
Oh, and also, I'm sorry, internationally speaking, the Vancouver, Canada Tokers Bowl.
I want to go to that.
I would like to go to that one.
Sounds pretty dope. I'm with
Where
that.
BC Bud, homie.
Brothels are legal, weed is legal, and they have
Who you
great
taking
beer.
with you? Robert Kraft from the New England
Taking my
Patriots?
Oh,
The fuck you talking about? We gonna go hit the brothel together. See, couples that do things together stay together, Savannah.
High five.
No.
Good game. Just a high five afterwards. You ever see us walk through a room and we high five? You know what just happened.
You probably just found a closet or something.
Yeah.
I don't want to think about that.
My bad.
Moving on. So let's go to. Are you ready for it?
Who we got?
Sick Teas proudly sponsors this podcast and our show, Waking Day. Hey, that's actually probably our next guest, Jamin, I bet.
Oh, man. The boss man.
Yep, the boss man has entered the building. So anyway, of course, our podcast and show is brought to you by our homies over at Sick Teas. That's right. So hook yourself up with some Sick Teas, and of course, that's SIKTEEZ.com. I can't do this commercial. I should just let Cammy do it. Cammy does that commercial every morning. I should just let her do it. So, what do we got next?
Topic, the king of
Consoles.
can't read your writing. Consoles.
It sounds like councils.
Does the rest of my writing look okay though?
That looks like console
Like
WS.
coleslaw or cow souls.
I produce, I don't spell. All right, so let me just throw that out. I produce shows, I don't spell shows. So, the king of consoles. So let's talk a little bit about these wonderful devices. And I'm going to tell you that I feel like a little disrespected though, because now the list that I pulled for the king of consoles, I feel like let's be honest. Let's give them a shout out. The Guinness Book of World Records is probably a legitimate place to find record holders, right?
Right.
Top list, right?
Yeah.
Well, these king of the consoles, this list of 1 through 10 that I got, purely is situated around just sales. How many consoles have sold worldwide? Now, I feel like that I'm a little more surprised that maybe Atari and Nintendo didn't sell more, but I think I know why. The original Nintendo, that is,
Right.
and Atari, but I think I actually may know why. because the cost of production in the 80s and the 70s was so high that they wouldn't have been able to. Not everybody had one.
Right.
But when you get to the PlayStations in 2000s, everybody had one.
Because mostly everyone was playing outside back then too, you know.
Yeah, we used to play outside.
A video game console.
We used to get cut and scuffed up and jump off train bridges into rivers.
And my parents would only allow an hour of game time, and then we had to go play outside. Like, that was a rule in my house.
Right.
And parents aren't doing that very much anymore nowadays.
We were just too bored. We were just too poor to have a game system or anything like that. So.
Yeah, a fat man just walked in front of our camera. He's also our next guest, though, coming up. Because, and I do want to say that, not a bad, hold on, K-Mac, stay for just a second until he gets over here.
Hello.
I don't know how long he's going to take. You know he's slow.
That's right.
He's elusively fast for a big man, though. Hey, go around there. Go back around there. You'll never make it through here. You know that. I had a cheap shot of here. No, it's just a cheap shot.
Hey, I do thank you for
Don't be
having me on,
making
though.
fun of my big teddy bear.
That is our teddy bear.
That's just Trey's jealousy, man. That's just Trey's jealousy.
Come on in. Remember to sit up close to the mic. I know it's been a while since you've been around one.
What, you're not going to make a joke about me eating the mic or something? Okay.
No, I feel like he eats a sandwich.
Sandwich.
A sandwich. All right, Big Mike. By the way, who this big lovely teddy bear that we love so much is he's actually he was the first host with me on We Can Make America way back when we first launched it, and then he decided to become a politician like a dumbass.
Right.
And so we had to kick him off the show because we don't fuck with politicians. No, he had to legally he couldn't be on the
I
show.
couldn't handle
Serious,
Trey
that's all
anymore.
you
I couldn't
talk
handle
about.
Trey anymore, so me and Cammy would tag Cammy.
That's right.
I was like, I can't do it. And she's like, all right.
Jamin tagged me. What are you doing?
I know Jamin came on the show with his libertarian self, and I was like, get the fuck out of here with your Greenpeace and all that shit. No, I'm just playing. All right, so seriously, what a better person, though, to have around here than somebody who I know sat around playing video games, because it's hot as fuck in Arizona where we grew up, huh? So
yeah, I keep forgetting that you can cuss on this.
Yes, on this one. Don't do that when you come on to talk about Colorado 4-2
Boobs ass fuck. All right, sorry. I just had to get them out. I got it out. Now I can do it.
Everybody does it.
All right.
he did it once.
Yeah.
No, we tried to get him. We've tried to.
I'm the only one here that's sophisticated. All right.
No, I just don't want to mess up on actual air at the station.
Right.
So.
That's exactly. I'm sitting here trying to turn on my radio brain, and he's messing me up. And then
I
next
know.
time I go to Blazing, they're gonna kick me out.
Same, bro.
It'll be just like the last time you were there. Hey! God, I'm crazy. Nobody's letting me get my one shots in, though. I like it. Thanks.
Right.
Just kidding.
You'll have to invent a cussing light, no cussing light. Be like,
Right.
Just actually get the bleep button.
Right.
Oh,
There you
God,
go.
to have a bleeper.
And have a bleep button.
No, man. I don't
That would
want
be a lot of work with us.
Hey.
I got you.
So, let's do this.
They got to make an app for that.
They have an app for that. Now, don't forget to talk into your mic, silly man.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, and there's a camera there, too. Like, recording us. Hey, look at that.
I was like, I'm
then I
not
have
even in this
bunnies on this
podcast. I'm looking at Trey over here. Okay.
No, that's the real recording
All
right there
right.
that's going to go on YouTube.
That's why you said I walked in front of it. I'm like, I was very careful not to walk in front of it.
Jay, do you like Trey's kitty ears? He's got
Yeah,
going on?
I hit something, and now it won't make the kitty ears go
I'm
away.
just never used to seeing anything on top of Trey's head except a hat.
Oh, what's this?
Oh, what?
Oh, man.
I'm sorry.
I'm getting dissed on, and I got. But look at my whiskers; they're cute though.
And rosy cheeks.
They are.
That's your Halloween
It is. I like how your ear twitches every
Right, that's the little thing. It's like. All right, so let's do this, guys. Check it out. Let's talk about the kings of the consoles now. I'm going to get into this. So, number 10, coming out number 10. This is according to the Guinness Book of World Records by most consoles sold, etc., etc., etc. The PlayStation Portable is actually the 10th most popular or most sold device for games. I don't know if you guys ever had the PlayStation Portable, the PSP, but I did. It was pretty cool, actually. I used to watch it had like these little tiny movie discs like this big, and it was cool, yo. Yeah.
Oh, I think it was like 6.
Now, what about the Game Boy Advanced? It sold 81.5 million devices. The Advanced?
The Game Boy.
I grew up on Sega, so I'm waiting for you to say Game Gear or something.
No, but here's the problem.
The
Is that
Nintendo.
Nintendo?
Like the original.
Check this out. The original Nintendo. Well, hold on. Let's talk about that. The original Nintendo, not on the list of top selling
What?
consoles of all
That's
time.
crazy.
How
Everybody
can
had
that
one
not
of
be
those.
the? How can it not?
This is
We
according
all
to Guinness
remember
Book
the
of World Records.
struggle of blowing in the cartridge
Yeah.
before you put it in the dang Nintendo system because it was always messing up.
They have it for sale at GameStop right now. I just looked.
Check this out. Check this out. You know what's not on the list too? Atari, Nintendo,
What the fuck?
Sega.
That makes no sense.
See, Atari was the jam.
But hold on. Check this out though. In my family, there was one cousin who had a Sega, and another cousin who had a Super Nintendo, and I had neither. And we just had to go to each other's house to play them because not everybody could afford them.
Right.
They didn't become like super affordable until recent.
My family was weird.
And that minimum wage increase helped.
All my friends had a Super Nintendo. My dad gave us his old Atari from college.
Yeah.
We got
So
an
we were
Atari.
playing
We
like
had an
Pitfall
Atari,
when they were
too.
playing
Yeah, I
like
still got the
Donkey
Atari.
Kong, and we were playing
My
like
parents
Pitfall.
still do.
Yeah.
My parents
And then-
still have it.
And then we went to a Sega, but actually we didn't do the gaming consoles. We were one of the first families in my neighborhood to get a PC though.
Do you guys remember having to go to
computer?
the game? You remember that? Do you guys remember going to the arcade, like actually playing games on giant machines and shit?
Oh yeah.
We're old.
Man, I almost killed. I almost had some brothers go missing on our way home.
What do you mean we're old? They're still around. Savannah works at an arcade.
Oh.
I gotta get out more.
Or learn more about the people you.
I gotta get off the radio and get out more.
And the one in Manitou Springs is my personal.
Oh yeah,
I don't
the
fuck
funny
with-
arcade.
listen, I don't-
Yeah, but that's what I was.
I don't fuck with my friends at work. All right, that's why I never been to Savannah's work. Okay.
All right, well, that penny arcade, though, keep in mind, is not an actual penny arcade. You have to pay way more
Oh,
than
yeah,
a
no.
penny.
But here's the thing.
That penny's a ploy. It's a ploy, homie. It's a ploy.
I got one complaint about the penny arcade.
Feed me.
They give out. Okay, so for tickets, you can get a fuzzy pair of handcuffs.
I know.
You
I
can
saw
get
that.
a meth pipe.
Whoa.
Well, I've seen it there.
What?
What? Stop.
Okay,
Stop.
so in the
Stop
gift shop,
it.
they
Okay,
have a
we might
little.
have to go check
You know
that
the
out.
little
We're gonna go
glass.
video
You
that.
know the little Trey. I know you know.
Yeah.
Little glass with the roast.
Hey.
Hey, I walked into Fat Joe's. Okay.
I know, I'm
All right.
loving this. I'm loving this.
Fair enough. He did walk into Fat Joe's.
Trey. I love it. No, but
We just had
They
a bad
have-
experience at
they
McDonald's.
have flowers. They'll have
talk
flowers in the
about it.
little glass meth pipes.
Yeah.
In the gift, you can exchange your tickets.
What?
For a
That's
meth
Manitou
pipe.
for you.
Or they had fuzzy hand gloves
He's
that
serious.
said love on them.
Oh,
and stuff.
yeah.
And I'm like
God.
sitting there,
Sounds like Manitou.
and I watched an 8-year-old girl pick that out
So
of the case, and I
An
was just like,
8-year-old?
yes.
Oh, I would have.
So somehow.
BDSM.
oh yeah, well she will be.
Oh my God.
Well,
Don't open that kid's lunchbox.
Wow.
I've seen worse. As a teacher, I've seen worse
Right.
than that.
She just turns to a boy and she's like, now you're my little pony.
I know. I've had
Oh
a
my
kid bring a
God.
cock ring to school.
What?
Oh, yeah.
What? And he's like flinging it across the room.
Oh,
like
yeah.
that.
Yeah, he's stretching out.
Yes.
He's stretching out in front of his friends at his cubby.
You ever seen a girl have it as a hair tie or something?
Oh, no,
like she
no.
just didn't know what she was looking at.
You guys are fucking awesome.
Or they
I'm
come
telling
in
you.
with like the candy underwear.
Oh my God.
So
Gorillas,
be sure to
man.
vote for me in 2020.
Right?
Yes.
Okay, so Panda Express for City Council over here.
You're terrible. That's your favorite place to eat. So what is
That is my
about
favorite
here?
place to eat, though. I love your food. I love your
Orange
cuisine. No, I had to. All right, so listen, guys. So come in and check this out. Now, here's where we start getting interesting. So after the Game Boy Advance, Xbox comes in. Xbox 360 comes in at number 8. But guess what? Didn't make the list. The Xbox One. I go back to. I cite affordability. I promise you. That's why.
Xbox One?
Yeah, that's why it didn't sell as much.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is that's why it didn't sell as much as the 360. It's still got time though because see, it's still being distributed. That's a catch.
Well, yeah, but
The 360 is dead now.
Have, like, the Xbox.
A slim,
One
yeah, that
X,
slim one.
Xbox X.
So check this out.
I
Now,
miss the Wii.
this is
Wii was
where,
fun.
if you guys want to know who the kings of iconacy is, check this out. 7 PS3, 6 PS4, and still currently being distributed. So but it's got a long way to go before it's going to hit the Nintendo Wii at 106 million.
Oh, the Nintendo Wii was.
Number 5. Oh, I had
Yeah,
one
that
too. It
was
was
so
so awesome.
fun.
It was a way where even my little guy at like 3 could connect with his papa and play golf. It was awesome. It was so awesome. I lost to them all the time. I had never lost to them at video games until the Wii came along
Well, we had one, but we
because it
gave
made
it
it
away.
easy for a little kid to play.
Remember,
Well,
we gave it
I
away
guess
last
that was
year.
the thing. I never bought a Wii because I don't have kids, and it seemed like a very kid unit.
It was. I'm not gonna lie. It was, but it was.
They had, like,
But
sports stuff.
I
that
played.
were cool.
I played Modern Warfare 3 for like an entire year on that because you could play it on that online and all that.
And you can use the.
I would have been one of those.
Like,
The zapper. I had the zapper.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
See, and that I would have been one of those guys who would have accidentally thrown my controller out of the window.
My Poppy threw a controller at the TV on accident. It happens. It's definitely a casualty of the game.
Yeah.
Let's see, what else do we got? So after that, you get into the top 4. In the top 4, PlayStation 1, the first disc console ever. Don't forget that. Sold 104.2 million consoles, and it was the first disc console to be a disc console. There you go. I mean, what else?
Was my first part.
It was a revolution!
Was it the first? What happened to the Sega Saturn? Wasn't that a disc one?
After.
That came out after?
After.
Well, there you go.
According to the data I read. I could be wrong, but I don't know.
I had a
That is
PS2. That's the only PlayStation I had.
Well, we're going to get to the PS2, actually. Coming in at number 3, the top 3, guys, the Nintendo Game Boy.
I had one of those.
Yes,
I loved
yes. The original Game Boy sold
The problem with
108.
that, though, is it was too fragile.
True.
The
But
screen cracked, like,
Yep.
easily.
if you dropped it, you were screwed. You had to sit on that lazy boy and don't drop that son of a bitch. You know what I mean? 118.6 million consoles sold. But here's why, though. Think about this. Small means usually less money.
Yeah.
So it didn't cost as much as a whole Nintendo.
Mm.
Now, well, at first it did, though, when it first dropped. When only the rich kids had it. All right, so no, that's how the 80s was. Only
Everyone
the
always
rich.
had one.
Remember the
rich friend
80s was
that
only the
drove
rich.
like games
Yeah,
with.
and in the 80s, the late 80s and early 90s, your one rich friend was the only homie who had all the cool shit.
Oh yeah.
And we all went over there and
He
played
had
at their
the
house.
screen TV.
Yeah.
He had the
Satellite.
the video game console.
He could get games from the East
Cable.
Coast down the air.
Yeah, he had movie channels.
Mm-hmm.
That was a friend, man.
Son
You were
of a
like, that's
bitch.
the guy.
Wish I still knew them.
You know, he cried every night. He's like, they only love me for my cake.
Oh my god. All right, number 2. I had one of these actually. The Nintendo DS, first touchscreen pad little thing, using touchscreen pad technology like that. Oh no, wait, it was the DS that had the whole touchpad and everything, right? Wasn't it?
Yeah.
And 154.9 million copies sold. Now, consoles sold. But get this though, I think they were only like $100 or $150 when they came out. They weren't that bad.
Right.
They really were highly affordable. The games were affordable. I liked it until it broke and I had to send it in and wait 3 months to get it back. But we ain't gonna talk about that. I didn't break it either. It's just the touchpad thing quit working. Downside to new technology. But number 1, guys, was actually your favorite console, probably one of my favorite consoles, the PlayStation 2 console. 157.6 million consoles sold. It was sold for 6 years after the PS3 dropped because it was that dope.
Mm.
And I would like to just say that it was probably because it was that little that they changed between the two. The PS3 was just the PS 2.0.
Right.
Or the PS 2.5 or something, I don't know. All right, real quick here, before we get into our next topic number 5. 6 and 7. No, we're not even going to get into topic number 5 yet. Hold on, we're going back. Oh, I skipped the whole topic.
I want to turn this
I
into a
skipped all that.
conspiracy podcast about how the government had Xbox technology in the 50s.
They probably did.
And they didn't release it to us
No.
just now.
We can talk about that,
The
actually.
military was playing Xbox in the 60s, and that's a fact.
Well, fuck yeah.
Right.
We were just about to talk about that.
It's funny you bring up conspiracies about the military, my friend, because check this out. Actually, our next topic is video games to the battlefield. And yeah, so good segue, by the way.
Right.
Man, it's like we still got that chemistry. It's like when Jordan and Pippen get back together, they start draining buckets.
Except those are KFC buckets.
Yep, KFC buckets of chicken. Mm-hmm. Yeah, baby. And biscuits.
Popeyes forever.
Oh yeah, and those beans and rice.
Oh. Stay focused.
We can't.
Right.
No,
Well, we should have talked about food. Now
No,
it's over.
it's over. Hey, who has a lighter? Savannah has a lighter. Ninja.
Do not steal it.
I can't. This whole thing's on it. It's offensive if I do it now. It's obvious, actually.
It's my favorite.
Mission completed, Savannah.
Kill you.
Next time I get to sit closer to Cannabis.
There's a reason why Trey.
I know, you need to
I
come
know.
over here and
There
keep
was a
me
reason why he was like, no, over here.
You need
Over
to come
here.
over here, or me come over there so you can keep me warm. I'm freezing.
Guys, I'm right
I
here.
radiate heat.
Wait,
Hey,
I radiate anger.
boy.
What if I just
What
unzip
Scooby-Doo
this?
did enough.
What if I just unzip
She'll be
this?
back when the sun comes back.
And I just handed it over. It's my fast.
Did you hear me? I was like, she'll be back when the sun comes back. Oh, yeah.
A big boy cool surface to lay on, though.
In the winter?
I like the way you all think.
I hate
My
you.
husband's my first dude that I was ever with. So.
Yeah. We charge by the acreage.
I like a little something to hold on to. Anyways.
Right, I charge by the square foot.
More pushing for the cushion.
That's right. Jay by the pound.
So the military uses stuff. It's like, let's get back. So, no, for real, y'all, you guys are stupid. So the U.S. military uses video games to recruit soldiers now. And what I mean by that is like military recruiters will hop on video game consoles and go into rooms and
I'd be like, he's doing really good.
People are shooting around.
But come on, the gamer that's playing that, okay, just because he has the mental knowledge of how strategy works, military strategy, he probably doesn't possess the physical prowess, right? If he sits and plays video games all day and drinks soda and eats food, it doesn't matter if he knows how to properly
Well, it's because it's like a simulation.
Thank you.
Right.
That's the word I was trying to think of is simulator. They use a simulator that is based off of video games in a battlefield.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I think it shows how people can have great strategy. They can have a great military mind. But you got to have the physical,
response time, reaction time. That's super important.
What they need to do is get a guy, watch him play Black Ops, and then get him on a paintball course, and then score him on both, right? And then you got SEAL Team 6.
Oh my God! This is why he doesn't handle. He will not be on the military appropriations committee, bro.
I know, right?
They're not going to accept you to the appropriations committee for the military. They're like, he wants to spend it on video games.
You want video games?
And I'll be honest, I'm kind of glad that they had the soldiers, the military, using it first. Before it was branched out to kids and everything.
Well, I want to tell you guys a little story because I think that this will add a little bit of light to this. Is to you brought up a point earlier that the military's had a lot of technology prior to it being video game tech or whatever, right? Yeah. And I think you said that too, something about somebody having something. But my point being is that I'm going to take you guys over to Germany, booty game, where I grew up as a kid, and my parents. Had a friend who was the training officer for helicopter pilots. Okay. Yeah. So one time he took me to his work with him and there were some pilots that were going to do some like Apache simulator training, right? In the Apache simulator thing, right? Yeah. So they went in there and they did it, and there was this knocker in there. They made it sound like they were getting shot at. It was cool. I was watching them on screen, and it was now it wasn't graphics like today's graphics, but it was like this block looking thing was like a rock, but still. Right. But the point is this though, is that this was, they were in a virtual world with screens inside this thing, flying this thing that would simulate motion, all that crazy shit. Well, anyway, so when they were done, I asked him if I could go in there and play in it, and he let me actually go in there and play, and then he just turned it on, and I just fly around and crash into shit and stuff. It was pretty cool. But
do you remember that actual simulator that you could ride in?
Yes, and that's what I was going to get to. That was when I was a little kid and I went to work with him, right? Yeah. Well, probably about maybe 5 years later, that game came out. So my point is that we're talking, I was playing around in the simulator in like 1987, 86. We see this game on base as kids, 80 or 90, 91.
Right.
And now they're at like state fairs and carnivals.
Because the tech is not proprietary. The gaming, I think the gaming communities maybe are the ones who are handing it over saying, hey, you could probably use this shit. But I'm still going to make a game out of it.
They even have it at Disney World.
The military actually funds the programming and the building of it. Mm-hmm. And then the people who develop it for them have contracts that say they can release it later on for public use.
Yeah, like even like big places like Disney World and everything like that are actually take advantage of that kind of stuff now too. Mm-hmm. The new Star Wars ride there is just this humongous simulator.
Yeah.
It's dope.
Man, I remember the old Star Wars.
Can you fly the Millennium Falcon? Can you fly the Millennium Falcon?
All it did was make your seat drop down and move side to side.
Oh, yeah. No, check this out.
That was like mind-blowing.
So check this out. Remember when they had those VR simulator pod-looking things that fucking looked like a giant egg, basically, and you got it and set it? Well, no, but check this out. the beta ones of those, that like you just like, and you were like a roller coaster and shit. You just got jerked around and shit.
Yeah.
Like I remember playing in those when I was like 15, 14, 15, 16. Now you're basically in a know what I want
Oh, you
to.
should.
I went
I want
Crazy cool.
Where are they at?
into one
Disney
when
World.
I was in Nashville. I was able to get in one, and you like get in it, and it's kind of enclosed, and you like put on this headband, this eye thing,
Yeah.
goggles.
They even have like the steam that blows on you at certain
Yes.
times, and like
Oh,
water that like
bitch.
splashes
No, it
you
could be-
and everything. Like
It
it's
could be
crazy.
super realistic.
I did a zombie one, a horror one, and oh my god, that was the scariest shit I've ever fucking experienced.
Yeah.
It's like, this is
There
awesome.
is something though, like in the helicopter simulators and all
Yes.
that, where the
That's how they
psyche,
learn
there's
how
a
to fly
slightly
them.
altered psyche though, because you are kind of aware that there's no
True.
real world
Yeah.
Well, check this out.
consequence for a crash or
What you're doing,
anything.
yeah.
Check
But
this out.
I think they should just put you to sleep, like the dentist. You go to sleep in the dentist chair, and all of a sudden you wake up and you're in a simulator, and you're like,
That'd be
what
cool.
the? And you don't know that it's not real.
Yo,
That's
that's
how
like,
you test somebody. You know?
Yo.
Sci-fi movies.
yo,
Right.
right?
That's scary.
Right. There you go.
Well, when I was married, my
Older.
ex-husband was in the Air Force, and the simulators in the military are very important. Like if you fail,
Right.
you're in big trouble.
Well, and then, hold on, check this out. So that's what I was going to bring up was
consequence you have to face.
they've had live, but listen, they've had like not live, but live like environmental VR since before I ever set foot in that simulator.
Yeah.
That tech, when I set foot in there as a kid,
Mhm.
if it was on a base in Germany, that tech was already 10 or 15 years old, easily.
Yeah.
Easily. So that's my point is the military and the video game world have been overlapping each other or being a part of each other for quite some time now.
Right.
I mean, it's not nothing new. That's not so fresh and so new.
I'm going to do the simulator where all the stuff you think is happening really is happening, but
Oh
you
my
think
gosh.
you're in a
Man,
simulator.
you've been watching too
I'll
much
put
Rick
you in
and
a
Morty.
trash can
That's
and
Rick and
just
Morty.
knock you down a mountain and be like, oh no, it's a mountain simulator.
What, you didn't think I didn't know I was in a simulator?
Right.
In a
It's a
simulator?
waterfall simulator.
Rick doesn't know he's in a simulator in another simulator.
That's right.
Savannah, you have the cat ears. Oh, you did.
Oh, hold on. Oh, I can't shake these rosy cheeks.
You
Who
just had
whispers?
him on
Thank
though.
you.
People who watch this later, like on just the
They're like,
regular like YouTube, are gonna be like, "What the hell was he jerking around like there's like a bee in the room or something for?"
You guys can't see this. If you want to see
Oh my God! You gotta go to our Facebook page,
Yes.
to our live feed.
You look so
I'm
good.
sure you'll be able to see this video. Just scroll down until you find it. It's hilarious, bro.
I can't with you.
Oh my God! It's like I have my little brother with me everywhere I go. I swear. It's like he's my little big brother because he's bigger than me, but he's littler than me in age.
Sounds like my Cherokee
Little
big brother.
big brother.
Little big
Oh my
bear.
God.
Little big bear.
So,
Tatanka. Trey, we have hung out for many years.
oh, bro, don't go Brokeback Mountain.
I know.
Come down.
I was actually going for sausage party.
Oh,
I love sausage party.
my
Yo, I'm a douche. I'm a douche. What do you
Yeah.
expect? I'm a douche.
We got really high, like fuck a dude high.
Dude, you sound like Seth Rogen. Or yeah, so you sound like
Yeah.
not Seth Rogen. You sound like that fool though. Oh my God, you sound just like him.
We are immortal.
We are not.
We are the non-perishable.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
My dad told me about that movie. Do you know how embarrassing that was?
I took my
Yeah.
I took my very conservative Christian father to see Superbad.
Oh
When
my
that was
gosh.
released. We had no idea it was going to be that bad. And
Oh my god.
literally, we spent the whole movie
So-
leaning over to my dad and being like,
So my dad still watches Saturday morning cartoons.
"Oh, really?
Yeah,
That's
like
a cool dad."
Yeah.
All right.
So
cool.
when he saw the preview for it, he was like, "Oh, this
He
looks-
thought it was a
Yeah.
Saturday morning
He thought it
cartoon.
was like a Saturday morning."
and it was
cartoon.
more like a Saturday night cartoon.
Yeah, my grandma had HBO,
Oh,
and my
no.
grandma taped every cartoon that ever came on HBO
Popcorn.
or Cinemax.
Yeah,
And,
Skinamax.
yeah,
She got some
and these were
Cinemax.
like some late night. And she had a VCR that she
What do you
could
call
set,
it?
and she'd see a
Popcorn?
commercial for a late night anime. And she would be
no.
like, oh, so she just set the VCR before she went to bed, and then she'd give us these hour-long tapes. And some of them would be like children's cartoons, and then others would be like animes where women are getting sexually assaulted by tentacles.
Oh my God!
And people are being sawed in half with machine guns and stuff. And I was just like, my grandma is the coolest. Like upstart shots and stuff, and I'm just like, and my mom's like coming in, you like that cartoon? Your grandma said, yeah, good cartoon, Mom, yeah. I'm gonna be cleaning my room.
Yes. Oh my God.
Hashtag don't come in here.
Get the sock on the door.
That's right.
Oh my God.
Konnichiwa, and there's just that tent with your sheets going on.
Yeah.
She's like, what cartoon is that?
Exactly.
You tell grandma to stop sending that shit.
It's good to know that Jamin's grandma shaped his whole vision of sexuality.
Oh my gosh.
I would like to meet that lady.
And that is not the first examples of sex you need is like hardcore Japanese anime.
No!
Where it's like,
there's a name for it, but I can't remember what it's called.
right.
Hentai.
Hentai, that's what it's called. So if it says
She's been
hentai,
studying.
well listen, if it says hentai anime, be aware that there is a lot of sexual things going on.
You talk about virtual reality. That is a bad reality to set for kids because no one can live up to that in real life. You walk in with a squid
They've got
and a can
virtual
of whipped cream,
reality.
and they're just like, "What?
Oh my God.
They've got virtual reality programs where you literally can have a virtual wife.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can marry a
Virtual sex.
you can marry a virtual chick and just be like, fuck it. I'm married to a virtual chick.
Wow.
I got some ears.
Go to
I just gotta
Japan.
go get a virtual divorce.
Go to Japan, you'll see.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm there.
Oh yeah.
I heard they have vending machines you can buy dirty underwear in.
Also in Germany.
That's not
Germany, you
why.
can buy vibrators
What if
in a
you thought
vending
you were at a soda machine?
I'm okay with my dirty machine. Gotta get off. But dirty underwear? That's too far.
Be in the red light district for all that.
That's
Not
too
in
far.
Germany.
Not in
It was at a
Germany.
restaurant when I was in the bathroom.
So
in
wait.
the bathroom.
Red light districts are like a universal thing. Red light means the same thing everywhere. Is that what that?
That's definitely universal.
That's a
That's
whole other
definitely
subject
universal.
because don't be surprised if you were very much let down at the red light district because
Yes.
those women are not what you think they are. Let me just put it that way. I've been there.
Don't
The
hate.
Shias.
Don't hate.
Oh my God.
Shias like me. We'll try everything.
They look like They look like me in a wig.
Hey,
They're
if you're
like,
okay,
"Ugh."
hey, if you're okay with BD, then go right ahead.
Oh, Valentine's Day sounds good.
It's gross.
Oh my God.
Penicillin.
Same with the nude beaches. Be careful. Beware.
All right.
They are
Well,
not
you know what, let's do this.
I've never seen a nudist anything where it wasn't just a bunch of really old people that are like, I don't care anymore.
Saggy
And you have to look.
Yes, that's why I quit going.
Saggy everything. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah.
For real.
Yeah.
All right. Well, all of that horribleness, of course, brought to you by X-Vape Vaporizers at xvapeusa.com. No, seriously though, help Wake and Bake America show. Vape all day, every day. You know what I'm saying? They help us vape by providing us with cool ass devices to vape with. So get your cool ass devices at xvapevaporizer.com. You know what I'm saying? And don't disobey, bro. Just smoke and play, bro.
Don't disobey. I mean, I don't know, unless you like that, then you can disobey.
Whoa, Savannah.
Punishment's a thing. I made a
Holy
lot of
shit.
money off that.
What the fuck just happened? See, you guys brought out tentacles and vaginas and
Can you
Savannah's
guys
talking
move
about
over?
you.
A
Hey,
couple
no,
seats, I
y'all
should
don't
really be
know.
on this side.
Webcam girls make a lot of money.
Savannah.
I'd never do it. But
Webcam guys don't do bad either.
Yeah, webcam guys need love.
Dominatrix people are just fantastic. It's a great community to get involved with.
What?
We care about the
she's a
planet.
freak.
Listen,
Jay.
I like to-
You
We
don't
care about
know.
the
She's
planet.
a freak.
She's a freak.
I'm one who likes to.
A recycle.
I can't get into the.
I can't be down.
I can be mildly
I can't be held
submissive.
down.
Oh, you're a liar.
No, I can be pinned down just easily. Just hold my wrist. You just keep on top. No,
That's your weakness. Let me out. She keeps doing the loogie thing to you. She like dropping the loogie down towards your face, sucking it back up. You're like, get it, stop it. She's giving you noogies. You're like, no, she's holding my wrists.
Cammy's violent.
You know I have fragile wrists.
Oh my gosh.
So limp.
Ew.
Cammy's not hiding everything.
Baby wrists.
Baby wrists. Yeah.
Hey.
Little Trump hands on the end of it.
Little Trump
Little
hands.
Trump hands.
Oh, did you see the little Trump hands thing from Instagram?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh my god, I can't.
I can't do that right now. I can't.
I
You're
wonder
right, I
if he
can't.
like sees them and then looks at his own hands like, yeah, that's my
God, that's what hyperbole is for.
They get bigger as they get closer.
Oh my god.
Y'all want to laugh at some political stuff? There's a vape juice out called White House Vape.
Yes.
It is freaking hilarious. It's
And the
all
worst part is
faces-
they're all really good.
Yeah, like all the it's a picture of the face of each politician that looks all like
Kind of fucked up.
cartoony, like squishy.
Like a caricature
Squishy.
type
Yeah,
of-
yeah.
It's freaking hilarious,
That
dude.
is funny.
And they're actually really good vape
Yeah.
juices. I was like, what the hell? They did not even pay us to say that. Seriously. We
They are
actually.
available at X-Videos.
No.
Actually, they're not.
X-Shapes is pipes.
They make no, not pipes.
Wow.
They make botanical consumption devices.
Yeah.
That's actually what our contract says. We should say it that way
Oh.
to not get them in any legal trouble.
I love mine.
But I use dabs in mine just so everybody else knows what you can use
Your
them for.
device. You
I
have
dab with
your
mine.
device.
No, I keep asking someone to help me, but he falls asleep when we.
I'm sorry.
So.
Oh, Trey. Yeah.
No. And she always waits till little. She really does. She's like,
I
hey,
wait before I go to bed when I
no, we
always
gotta do that
smoke. I'm
shit during
sorry.
the day when there's good lighting for the recording of the
I
video.
can't, not during the week.
No, let's do it tomorrow.
Does Trey,
During the day. Tomorrow.
does Trey sleep?
Does Trey sleep?
Or does he just talk with his eyes closed?
Pretty much.
Shut the fuck
No,
up.
he literally
He's
is
just sitting there,
dead to the
Today in
world
the news,
when he
today.
does finally go to sleep because he's so on 100 miles per hour all
He
day.
is.
I hate you
If
guys.
he
No.
even sits on the couch,
I'm-
he's gone.
I'm going to find the gland that's responsible for this. I'm having it transplanted, man. I need that kind of energy in my life.
I'm good.
Yeah, I'll go right ahead. I'm good. I don't want that much
Right.
energy.
Right.
He can
So-
vibrate at sometimes.
It's like this is his own energy
Yeah.
source.
Yeah, if the sun burns out, y'all, you're over here, motherfuckers. So fuck you guys. All right, so check this out. As we wrap up here, I did want to ask you guys, like, what made your gaming today and yesteryear? And so I've got a couple of questions. We can go around the table and each take a turn. So the first one I got, and we're not going to ask Savannah because she's ripping a ball and grip, so we'll go to Jamin instead. We'll go this way. Is what was the best game when you were a kid? Like when you were really like a legitimately like a little kid, like let's just
my
go
favorite game as a
anywhere from
kid?
like 8 to like 14.
My favorite game, I don't know how many people know this game, but it's called Kid Chameleon.
Oh,
Did you ever play that?
Yes.
I don't remember that
I don't
one.
know.
Kid
Not
gonna lie.
Chameleon was bomb. It was
Some
for
people are like,
Sega
yeah, no, I remember.
Yeah,
No, I really
it was
don't.
for Sega Genesis, and basically
That might be why I had a Super
he was a
Nintendo.
kid in a virtual. It was like a Mario style game, but you're a kid in a virtual reality world, and every time you put on a different hat or helmet, you become a new character.
Yeah.
So if you put on like this, they had like a superhero cape. You put that on, you become a superhero. You put on this rhino head, you became a rhino.
That's actually
And
that
like,
sounds
yeah.
kind of
It
fucking
was
What's
cool,
really
yours?
cool.
actually.
And
That
each
sounds really cool.
character had its own powers,
Yeah. What's yours, Trey?
What, me when I was a little kid?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So easily when I was a little kid, I have to go on because I had a Super Nintendo, so I have to go with Mario World. I have to go with my Super Mario World. I love Super Mario World. It was so fun. You could play it forever and like I didn't cheat and use the warps to get around stuff. Like I'd really play it to go through it because man, why not? Fuck it, play it.
Well, for me, funny enough, I don't like guns at all, but duck hunting.
Yes.
Was your jam?
Yes, that was my favorite game. I loved playing duck hunt.
The military had you controlling a real hunter out in the woods.
I know.
Right,
Like a hunter.
right. You kill 100 ducks and you don't even fucking know it.
Right.
So it's kind of weird like that, but yeah.
So now, when you were a kid, Savannah, like 2 years ago, what was your favorite
Stop.
fucking? No, it's like for real though.
I'm like 5 years younger than you.
No, but you no. Okay.
How old are you?
You act like
No,
5
you're
years
10
ago.
years
I'm
younger
gonna be.
than him.
I'll actually
I've
be
dated a dude
38.
that was 14 years older than me, so that's
That
not
doesn't
long.
help. That you're still a child, fool. No,
She's
no,
not.
no,
I
I'm
would
just
do
playing.
anything to be her age.
I would too, just because my knees would not feel the way they do.
What was your favorite
You don't
game,
want to be
Savannah?
then because no, my favorite game
I'll leave that
as
one
a
alone.
kid.
Fuck you, man.
Shut the fuck up.
Shut the fuck up.
Oh fuck! Like my favorite game as a kid, I think would probably have to be Crash Bandicoot.
Yes, that game was
that was
fucking
fun.
awesome.
Because
Crash was awesome.
My first console was the PlayStation 1, and I had Tomb Raider and Crash Bandicoot to fucking choose from. So I was like, well, Tomb Raider's got like pointy pyramid titties, so I'm just gonna play Crash Bandicoot.
Pointy pyramid titties.
Yeah, you don't remember the first
Yes,
Tomb
I
Raider?
do,
Yeah.
but I'm just laughing because
You
I'm like
know.
pointy pyramid titties.
But it was great. My grandma got it for me, so.
That's funny.
I think we kind of already answered that one. Everybody said what they had in their house.
No, but that doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
No, the paper tells us what we do.
Yeah, the paper makes all happen in this room. No, seriously. So, what was your favorite console from your childhood? I think you said Genesis or whatever.
Well,
right?
we had a Genesis, but my favorite console that I ever saw was the N64 because just the what am I trying to think of? The free roam games like
RPGs.
Yeah, the ones where you could really run anywhere. That was mine.
The free roam.
Yeah. And Starbucks was like amazing and stuff. But where you could like turn left, turn right, head that way, head backwards. I'd never seen anything like that in a video game.
Yeah.
It was always side scroll, Mario, Sonic stuff. So yeah.
Probably, I'm gonna have to actually give it up to something probably like the PlayStation 2 because I just loved playing like Modern Warfare and I used to play this game called Chronos or what is
God of War.
Yeah, God of War. That's what it was. In God of War 2, I played that one on there, and just because like that one, the PlayStation 2 and 3 were like just the best for playing freaking Madden, and that's what that was really my Jimmy Jam. Like as a young adult was Madden, and as a teenager.
Mine was the original Nintendo, man, with the cartridges and everything. Like that was the only game system.
Ninja Turtles.
Ninja Turtles was fun, man.
Ninja Turtles on the Nintendo is one of my favorite games ever. You could never get past level 2 on Ninja Turtles. It was so hard.
My favorite was Mortal Kombat on Nintendo, though.
Oh, fuck yeah.
I like.
Besides Duck Hunt, man, I'll get over here.
Oh, Mortal Kombat was the shit.
Sub-Zero,
I like
man.
Street Fighter and the fighting games for trying to make 2D females look really hot. You know, they always had they were always turning and showing their butts at the end and stuff.
I did like Mortal Kombat on the Sega because it was the first one where you had like that 3-button combination shit and stuff like that. Like that shit was fresh. Like I did like that a lot. The Sega was fun, but like it's different times, and I think it's because of technology that it's different times and different eras. Because now I like playing virtual reality sports games because you actually have to get up and throw a football, and I dig that shit now.
Till this day, I still like the uncomplicated games. Like I'm just not into those like.
And I'm like, I want to get up and fucking run.
Games. I like relaxing and just doing something fun that's not like super complicated, personally. I love Minecraft.
Is the game really relaxing though? And it, I mean, by definition, doesn't the game have to be a challenge?
Well,
so it's only half. It's relaxing the part of your brain that's being challenged.
If you want to go real far back, Tetris, man. I'm OCD. So Tetris was like my jam.
Yeah. I used to get stuck on my Game Boy on that shit all the time.
I got a question. Did you guys ever have a game that like literally like you would like throw controllers and get up and like scream and get all mad, but then you'd be back at it 5 minutes later trying to play the game?
Definitely.
Yeah. No. I'm glad I'm not the only one.
No.
Creed, man.
But the reason why is because I just wasn't.
I'm telling you.
I never got mad at the game. The only thing I used to get mad about is hold on, that's not right. Madden. I used to fucking.
I don't believe
fucker
that.
beat me, son of a bitch. I did.
I don't believe
I
that.
fucking Hulk ripped a fucking PlayStation
like,
controller in half. It's true.
Yeah, exactly.
Angel just told me that it's snowing outside. We haven't been outside since we got here.
Fuck.
Yeah,
Next podcast is outdoors.
Right. So, what tech or game today piques your interest? Like, what new tech or stuff today has you like kind of like For me, I think it's the virtual reality environments.
The Oculus.
I've been waiting for that since I was a little kid to come out.
Robo Recall is beyond.
Oh my god, that shit's so fun! I get stuck there for hours playing that shit.
That's like living in the Matrix.
Yes.
So definitely virtual reality.
We're gonna be like Ready Player One.
For me, the reason is because like they have all these really cool like painting games.
Yeah, where you can paint around you.
Yes, you can literally paint around you. Like it's so cool.
And then you can walk out of it and snap a picture of it.
Yeah, it's so
too bad
cool.
You can't. It'd be cool if you could do it, and then they like, and they'll probably have this someday, and then they send you a sculpture. Yeah, but like you make it, and then they send you a sculpture of that thing that you made.
That'd be so cool.
That'd be fucking fantastic.
Because you can do a painting that's all around you that you can be inside of, and then I do remember the painting one.
And then the one where like you're in space, it was like Mission Space, so whatever the fuck. And I was sitting in a chair, like a rolly chair that swiveled. And after about 5 minutes, I fucking went to go grab something in the space environment and almost fell off the fucking chair because I thought I was floating.
Right.
Yeah, I was like, oh shit, don't fall.
It's always fun when you run into an object you can't see. Plus communication, when we can, when in the future, when we can talk to each other and it's like we're in the same room.
Yeah.
And Trey's really got cat ears and big doe eyes in front of me. That'd be trippy.
I'd run for myself if I saw like a big old giant kitty at me. I'd be like, ah!
As somebody that's grown up around all this technology and that has, you know, basically I've been immersed in it like my whole life. Well, no, I'm just saying. It's true, though.
Her generation, definitely.
Right.
Well,
this virtual reality show is like fantastic to me, and there's like certain animes like from Japan that have a kind of like a virtual reality thing,
right,
where you put on this helmet, and then you're basically like you're transported to this other virtual reality world.
Right.
It's like I can't wait for us to get to that level. It's like we've gone this far.
Like Player One, the movie.
Well, yeah,
that was crazy.
Yes.
Movies too. That's another thing because, like, have you ever watched a movie where you watch it 10 times and you pick up on something you didn't see each time you pick up on? Well, how about when you're watching a movie and there's literally parts of the movie going on behind you, and you're like, oh, I never looked over my shoulder the last time. Oh, that's where the killer went out the back door and stuff.
Oh, because you're like in a 3D environment. You're like, who the fuck shot him? I didn't fucking see nobody.
Because it's going to be like you're a witness.
I'm a bad witness.
Yeah, you're a witness in the room. And people will be like, oh, man, and when he ran out the back door, and you'll be like, I never saw when he ran out the back door. Oh, yeah, if you turn the other way, he ran out the back door. And you're like, oh, yeah, it's going to be crazy.
Okay, so we got like thoughts on that. Final thoughts on the consequences, though, because I do like to cite the movie Ready Player One. I think it was a good movie that kind of sort of shows or illustrates, you know, some of the consequences of that is that like the sort of dehumanization of human contact. We are the first generation to be born completely of video games in our lives. Yeah. We really are. And so like when we're like 60 years old, we'll be those old fucks on fucking Ready Player One fighting with our grandkids over the goddamn game time.
Yeah.
Maybe not. Hopefully not. Hopefully humanity can be better than that. I sure fuck hope so. But the reality is what could be the consequence of the sort of the dehumanization and the lack of actual human contact because we're into the world of we're into this virtual fake fucking world where we can be who we want to be and float through mushrooms.
Right there. There's not going to be a single person that isn't
slightly addicted.
Yeah.
Right.
Because it's like
they are addicting as fuck.
Right.
That's why
I already are with Facebook. You see how
social media in general.
The people will be rushing home to put on, you know,
virtual goggles and shit
to go home to the world that they want to be in, basically.
I think it will be a mix of the Ready
Watch
Player
Black
One.
Mirror. There's actually an episode exactly about that, where this
really?
person is so stuck in the virtual world
that he come out.
This guy traps other people in the virtual world because he doesn't want to. He doesn't like who he is in the real world.
Well, it allows for an
crazy.
escape on a level that we don't have now. I mean, you won't age in that world. You'll be whatever body type you want. You'll have hair and color. I mean, look at everyone's rainbow.
But that's
unicorn hair colors they do now.
Yeah.
That you can have any hair color you want at any moment you want. But I think
that's the exact danger / worry or concern that I'm speaking of.
Did you ever see that movie with Bruce Willis though, where he's not in the virtual world, but they have robot bodies, and no one wants to be seen for who they really are? I think it's going to be a combination of both.
Surrogate.
Like people are going to want to live in that virtual world, but then they're not going to want to be seen for who they really are in the real world.
I'm pretty sure the movie's called Surrogates.
Yeah, so it's going to be one of those things where
the movie's badass.
We're going to have robots going to the grocery store, so that the only thing people know about us is our profile pic, if you will, where we're just the body that they
what you want them to see,
and associated with it. We'll be catfishing everybody all the time. It'll be constant catfishing.
I don't like this shit at all.
To compare to that,
Wall-E,
yeah.
No, what's that one too?
Wall-E's a great movie.
Oh, when they're all sitting in chairs, all fucking fat and lazy, and the robots do everything.
What's that one with the alien blue guy? The movie. metal something.
Oh, Megamind?
Yeah, that one too. Because remember, all the people are sitting in those hovering chairs. They
I think that's Wally. They're in the
the hovering chairs was Wallium.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but that's exactly,
That's the one I was thinking
Where
of too.
you don't see each other. You're always in that screen.
Well,
and you don't realize.
That's something they showed too. In,
That's now.
in
Shit,
Player One,
everybody's on their fucking phone.
I mean, he literally is like moving ads out of his way so he can walk down the street, you know, and that's going to be a thing too. They're going to constantly be like
floating ads.
And they'll know what our bodies are telling us. They'll be like, hey, do you know in the real world you have a prostate problem? We can send you this, whatever. And things will pop because they'll be monitoring your heartbeat and everything else. And so they'll be reminding you.
Microchip your fucking self.
They'll be reminding you can't live in this world if you're not living in the real world. And they'll be like sending stuff, and that's the whole thing. Everything will come to the door, you know what I mean?
That's scary shit.
You'll have IDs and
everybody will be overweight.
People will have like colostomy bags, so they don't have that. They show that in Ready Player One where they got like colostomy bags and all that, so that they don't have to get off. And that's really where it will happen. That's just our nature.
That's just fucking nuts to me, but I see it.
Scary.
And then one day they'll be offered, hey, well, why don't you just download your consciousness into that and you can get rid of your body? And people will do that.
That's just keep organizing. Basically, if you were like keeping up on your problems, I mean, well, how bad can the world get, you know?
Pretty fucking bad.
That's like fucking scary.
Yeah.
Because you know it's very real. It's a very real possibility.
And it all started with Nintendo. Thanks, Mario.
Thanks, Nintendo.
Right? What if that's the first game, Virtual Plumber? You're just like under a sink turning, and then all of a sudden a turtle comes and you hit it with your. You're like, all right.
Wow. On that note, this has been another wonderful episode of What the Fuck Were We Even Talking About?
Right?
No, seriously. This has been joking. This has been episode 3. Smoking contest, which I'm obviously not qualified for. Although I did beat you in a smoking contest.
You did beat me. That was a dabbing contest. That you beat me. Barely, though. Barely. Only by like 20 grams.
But that's all it takes. No, anyway, so thank you guys for coming on the show. This is Wake Bake No Rules. I feel like I'm going to die. I still have to read a commercial. Thank you to all our sponsors. Shut up. Thank you to all our sponsors. Don't forget to visit us at www.wakeandbakeamericashow.com for links to all of our social media, staff bios, podcasts, and, of course, our live morning show on Blazing 98.5 FM. You know what you got to do. If you got a comment, stick it up your butt. No, I'm just playing. You can send us your comments to info@wake_and-bake-americashow.com. Peace out. Fuck.
Thank you. That was cool.
That was fun.
That's some part trips me out. I'm just going to have to keep radio mine no matter what because I can't do it.
I know. That's why I'm not going to do it because I don't want to.
Yeah.
Alright.
Besides, I don't want to be like, I like her. She's funny without cussing.
All right. Now we got to go see my son for his birthday, so let's pack it up.
Oh, man.